Let your quacks and newspapers be cutting the capers about curing the vapour, the scratch and the gout. With their powders and potions, their salves and their lotions, a horn in their notions, they're mighty put out. Would you know the true physic to bother pathetic, to pitch to the devil, cram, colic and spleen? You will find it, I think, if you take a wee drink, with your mouth to the brink of a glass of whiskey. Stick to the crater, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. Oh, whack botheration, there's no dose in the nation can give consolation like whiskey, me boys. So come guess me this riddle, what beats pipe and fiddles, what's stronger than mustard and milder than cream? What best wets your whistle, what's clearer than crystal, sweeter than honey and stronger than steam? What will make the dumb talk, what will make the lame walk, what's the elixir of life and philosopher's stone? And what held Mr. Brunel to dig the Thames Tunnel? Sure wasn't it whiskey from Muldinishone? Stick to the crater, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. Oh Lord, I not wonder if lightning and thunder was made from the plunder of whiskey, me boys. Farewell, a princess, land and stay, River Mersey, farewell. I am bound for California, I know that I return someday. So farewell, my own true love, when I return united you will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that's grieving me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I have sailed upon a Yankee clipper ship, Jolly Crockett is her name, and Burgess is the captain of her. He says she's a floating hell. So farewell, my own true love, when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that's grieving me, but my darling, when I think of thee. Oh, I have sailed with Burgess once before, he says he knows her right well. If I'm not in California, well, surely I will be in hell. So farewell, my own true love, when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that's grieving me, but me darling, when I think of thee. I ask me darling, when I think of thee.
Get your flat caps, get your trousers, get your Stanley figs.
Well, I went to Blaydon Races, it was on the 9th of June, 2022 on a summer's afternoon. I took the bus from Bambras, she was a heavy laden. Going along the Collingwood Street, that's the road to Bladen. Ah, me lads, you should have seen us ganning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there with all the smiling faces, ganning along the Scotswood Road to see the Bladen races. We passed Armstrong's factory and up by Robin Adair. Going over the railway bridge, the bus wheels flew off there. The lasses lost their crinolines and their veils to hide their faces. I got 2 black eyes and a broken nose, going along to Bladen. Oh, me lads, you should have seen us ganning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there with all their smiling faces, ganning along the Scotswood Road to see the Bladen races. When we got the wheels back on, away we went again. Those who had their noses broke, they went back over him. Some to the dispensary and some to Dr. Gibbs, some to the infirmary to mend their broken ribs. Oh, me lads, you should have seen us ganning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there with all their smiling faces, ganning along the Scotswood Road to see the Bladen races. When we got to Paradise, the bonny games begun. There were 4 and 20 on the bus, how we danced and sung. When they got me up to sing a song, I sung 'em Paddy Fagan. I danced a jig and I swung me twig all the day in Bladen. Ah, me lads, you should have seen us ganning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there with all the smiling faces, ganning along the Scotswood Road to see the Bladen races.
Here's a song I wrote for all the boxers in the world. Rolling and rolling with the punches, my friend. Left and right and around the bend. Up and up on the ropes I'm pinned. Rolling and rolling with the punches, my friend. Rambling across the country I go, it's like a river goes with the flow, taking the world on blow by blow, without a white flag or a towel to throw. I'm rolling and rolling with punches, my friend. Left and right and around the bend. Up and up on the ropes I'm pinned. Rolling and rolling with the punches, my friend. Conor McGregor, best watch out! Here I come! Lonesome and groggy I have felt from this card that I've been dealt. It seems to me below the belt that defeats a thing that I have yet smelt. So let that clock bell ring, for it's a battle cry, the song that I sing. I am safe here under God's wing. I better go throw my head in the ring. I'm rolling with the punches, my friend. Left and right and around the bend. Up and up on the ropes I'm penned. Rolling and rolling with the punches, my friend.
This is a show dedicated to shining a spotlight on fantastic people, creating fascinating things outside the mainstream. You might say, "Hey, Christy, who cares? I don't know this person's name." And I say, that's why we have Creative Chaos. So you get to come and meet a lot of really, really cool people that are kind of pushing back on the mainstream, creating their own stuff. And I just love doing Creative Chaos. And part of that is by having house bands that are independent musicians. And our opening house band tonight was Josh O'Keefe. All of March, I will be playing Irish themed music because it's St. Patrick's Day, I believe, on Monday. So we'll carry that throughout the rest of March. So for anybody that likes kind of Irish themed folk music, or like last week we had a rockabilly style band that we couldn't play all the way through because we got kind of muted by YouTube. Anyway, that's that. That's what happened last week. I'm super excited to have everybody here. I wanted to say, what is up to Vulcan Lives? Always here, almost exactly on time every single week. And I see our guest tonight, Devil Flyer Momentum, has been checking in since 2 hours ago. But I still don't see him in our streaming software. So get in here, Rex. We're going to talk to you in about 5 minutes. All right. And on that note, it is time for me to bring in the fabulous sidekick in history, the Batman.
Hey, hey, hey. Hi, everybody.
I made up a word for you. You're the fabulous.
I'm the fabulous. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just running back here from synagogue. We had Chag Purim tonight. It was the festival of Esther. All day we did the fast of Esther. For those of you who may not know, there is actually a story about Queen Esther, and there's a book that was written about her that her uncle and her wrote letters to the local Jewish communities in their neighborhood in the town of Shushan and the surrounding villages when King Ahasuerus' right-hand man, Haman, tried to kill all the Jews because he felt disrespected by Mordecai, who was the leader of the town of Shushan at the time. And it just so happened that the king wound up having a bitch for a first wife, had her executed, and then held a contest in the town of Shushan with all of the young maidens to see who would be his next wife. And Esther,
Okay.
Mordecai, that's the story. There's comic books of it. There's comic books of it.
Sounds like a good comic book story.
Yeah. So Mordecai sends his niece, who he's been raising since she was a little girl because both her parents were killed. So Uncle Mordecai told her to join the contestants in the bid to become the king's new wife. And this is a story that takes place over 10 years, and we read it in one night in about 30 minutes in the letter that both Uncle Mordecai, and Esther wrote about the story of her trials and tribulations and saving the Jewish people from being killed by Haman. But this is not a religious show. This is a show about comics and entertainment and people who are creating amazing content. And before we get any further, please make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and throw it up, Cosmic.
He's going to do it.
Share. subscribe
Subscribe.
and ring those bells. And if you're unpilled, hit that pill, make it red. Keep sending us some love. Let everybody know you guys love what we do.
Hey,
And
I
back to
just
you.
want thank you. I wanted to point out that I believe I have a viewer over on Rumble. I can't tell, but it is Patty's parlor game saying dudes. So, hello, Patty. You said you were going to try to make it, and then you made it. That's awesome. So, hello and welcome. And Vulcan Live says Esther is an inspirational book.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you very much, Vulcan Lives. I appreciate that. And there was actually different variations of the comic books that were made because I was looking them up earlier. There's actually a Korean Book of Esther. It's called the Book of Esther, and in Hebrew we call it the Megillah, and it's read in one sitting in 30 minutes, and they try and read it as fast as they can, and every time they come up to the bad guy's name in the story, the bad guy's name is Haman, Haman, and when you hit the word Haman in the story, everybody starts booing and shaking their
that's
garb.
fun.
Yeah,
so
and
so
the whole
it's
principle of it is to dress up in a costume of some kind. So there was a theme. So tonight's theme was China or Chinese because we're getting rid of them too. Anyway,
we're getting
um,
rid of them too. Well, you know, the
but with the
only
mass exodus of all the illegal immigrants, the Chinese are going too. Trump's not
oh,
letting them buy any more property in the United States. As a matter of fact, he's going to declare eminent domain and start taking some of it back.
oh, thank God.
Yay!
You know,
But I
it should have
digress. We're not political here. We're talking
it
about.
should not have happened. And yes, Rex, I see you dropped a comment. I think I'm backstage. We know you're there.
Yeah, you
Hang
are,
tight.
Rex. I see you.
Hang tight back there for a little bit. You know you're coming in when we're playing your trailer. So we will see you live in just a few. All right. But first, we have to say the reason, besides, of course, shining a spotlight on fascinating people creating fantastic things outside the mainstream, I made this show because we want to let everybody know about Flip City Magazine. And so Flip City Magazine every single week is the sponsor of Creative Chaos. And tonight I wanted to give you guys an update on Volume 23, on the Volume 23 campaign. And cause if we can just bring up the slideshow. So 115 days ago, time freaking flies. Our campaign closed out at 29 backers and we made $1,268. Not too bad for people that haven't been around the indie crowdfunding scene for very long, though we have been publishing since 2020. So thank you to all 29 backers that went over and backed that Volume 23 campaign. Just to let everybody know, that has been printed. It is on its way to us. And as soon as those magazines land at our house, me and Scott will be doing fulfillment. And I'm thinking we might actually stream fulfillment because, I kind of like interacting with the chat. So we may stream fulfillment, maybe play some music, and you guys can see like how much labor we put into getting you the world's most based a comic satire magazine called Flip City. So thank you again to all the backers and of course all of our regular subscribers. And then if we could move to the next slide, in volume 23, it was our first time running paid ads. And I wanted to shout out our advertisers, the people that jumped off that dock with us right into that freezing cold water were Frost Comics with their Morningstar Chronicles comic, and they offer a free comic. We've got Voivod, I think that's how you say it. That is by our very own Sonny Sonny Klein. And then, of course, Mr. Good Stuff wanted to promote his video things. I'm giving a free shout out here to Omer Glitch because this is actually what we're running in this next magazine. He won a quarter page ad for the Flip City is Madness collaboration. Then we had Daniel over at Whimsyland buy a full page ad to advertise his live stream and also Whimsyland. If you're looking for writing help, go check out Whimsyland at whimsyland.org. You'll see the ad in the lower right hand corner. That is a brand new ad to be run in volume 24. And I designed it and I think it's pretty. And Patty's Parlor Games asks a very important question. And actually, we have one space left where it wouldn't screw us up too much, Patty. Over on fundmycomic.com/flipcity24, you can get a business card size ad for $50. So that is a bargain, especially because of this next slide that we're going to show you here. This is the Flip City distribution map. This does not include anybody that backs us. This is our subscribers. And if you want to be able to zoom in and look all around the world to see where Flip City goes to, you can go to flipcitymag.com/advertise. You can read more about why print advertising blows out of the water. It doesn't blow. It's actually really cool. Blows out of the water digital advertising. We have a really nice write up as to why you should advertise in print, especially in Flip City Magazine. And for the very last slide here, these are our regular rates. You might not be able to see them as if you're watching on a phone, but we are discounting for indie producers all of our regular rates by 25%. It might be a little late to advertise in volume 24 because it's going to print on Monday. But if you DM me over on X, that's at Kitty Flip City, or email us flipcity@flipcitymag.com, discuss, and we might be able to get you in for volume 24. So that's what I've got for you tonight. What's that, Bruce?
And it wouldn't hurt to put a QR code in there too if you guys want. Takes the phones directly to the link.
I'm sure you saw in the third slide there are
Yeah.
QR codes on them.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
And yes, I definitely, before we print, I check the QR codes myself on my phone to make sure they go to the right place. So yeah,
They are the most organized chaos you'd ever want to meet. Christy Mack and Scotty Mack. Organized chaos.
you know, so I've never been diagnosed, but I'm pretty damn sure I have ADD. And it sucks in certain ways, but it's like a superpower in other ways, and I can do multiple things at once and get a bunch of stuff done, like
Yes.
very quickly. But it also comes with procrastination and all, distraction and all that kind of stuff. But
Guilty.
when we're yes, when we're grinding out a deadline like we're doing right now because we're going to print on Monday, I'm so focused. I'm like, yeah, come advertise. Yeah, I'm going to design this ad, and then I'm going to go over here and say, hey, you want to run that ad again? Which, by the way, that was something super cool, and why I wanted to thank our advertisers was everything that you saw on that advertising page that I showed you. They all signed up to run again in 24. So not only did they advertise in 23, they're advertising in 24, and they did it at the last minute because my ADD, I forgot to do the advertising thing. So I DM'd them or emailed them real quick. Hey, do you want to run again? I'll give you a discount. And they're like, yes, we do. And I'm like, oh, I love our advertisers. So go check them out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love it.
All right.
I just have to ask you. You. Cosmic, can you go back a few slides to the one where you show the hump? Under the letter P, there was a character there that looked kind of interesting, and I wanted to ask you if you knew who it was. It was just underneath the words "the hump." The other one, Cosmic, right there. There you go. See that in the middle bottom? Look down underneath the letter P. There's a guy with a funky looking mustache that looks awfully familiar. I don't know. It's intriguing.
I have no idea. What I do know is that is Omer Glitch's art, and I pulled it from stuff that he gave me.
Okay,
What?
when is Omer Glitch coming on the show again?
Next week.
Cool. All right,
All
we're
right.
there.
We'll look at his ad again next week. All right. Cool. That is enough about you and me and Flip City, at least for the moment. We will, of course, get back to Flip City. We do have a guest tonight, and his name is Rex Christian, and he is a comic book creator, super collector, and host of the daily 4 o'clock Shadow show on YouTube. And he's an all around nice guy. Devil Flyer, his comic book, is about a tortured soul who comes back to Earth to save it. But can he? Will the price of Devil Flyer's soul spell the end of existence as we know it? Well, we're going to find out on the other side of this trailer. And music. Hello, Rex.
Saw you with your, you look like one of those bobbleheads back there.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. She was jamming out, man. She was like,
I do. We did a promo once that had like kind of more punk rock music, and I appreciated it. I kind of like that driving music, especially for a campaign. Anyway, hello, dear. How are you? I've been hanging out with Rex a lot lately.
I'm just, well, don't blame me for that. you know, yeah. It's good to meet Sergio Aragonés up here. I'm telling you, he looks a lot like Sergio. I met him back in, when was it? Probably 1985. And yeah, he had the beard and the mustache going on. Looks a lot like the Mad magazine artist Sergio Aragonés, among other things.
Mine curls. His went straight, right?
Yeah,
Like
was it? Okay.
his went
All
straight
right.
out, like almost like Salvador Dali.
Yeah, I have a friend, LZ Walter Danley. He uses mustache wax and has his go out too. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Very good. Well, Rex, as soon as she said your name to me, I was like, Rex Christensen? Rex Christian? So let me guess. He's a dinosaur. He's a Christian dinosaur. Is that it?
Uh,
And there we go. So that's what came
Yeah.
to my mind immediately when she mentioned your name.
And
So I was
then,
like, cool. We'll have
but
fun
then,
with this one.
but actually, I think I didn't really correct you, but then I said he's actually more like a Christian you, because you guys are both collectors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she did
collectors.
mention.
I
I see your
actually
Hot
went.
Wheels dump. I see your Hot Wheels dump behind you. I have a shit ton of Hot Wheels.
Oh yeah, somebody asked me the other night, well, how many do you have? And I see that back there, and they were blown away when I said thousands. I used to sell them. Of course, I've sold Pez, comics. Continue to do so on eBay for about 20 years.
Oh
Uh,
wow! So you
production
turn your stuff
artwork.
over. You turn your stuff
Yeah,
over.
I do. I do. I sold Pez back in the heyday of when it was going well. I sold Diecast back in the heyday when it was kind of going good. Now shipping rates is killing small stuff like that. So I don't really ship small stuff like that anymore. But yeah, I was actually looking for this DC stand of comics that you can, and I was fortunate to get one at my local Dollar Tree because they're actually putting comics out on these stands, and I got one, and I was looking for this stand at my other Dollar Tree. And what did I find? But the Hot Wheels box there. And it actually had, apparently they had stopped just short of putting their last car in there, which was a Batmobile. And I said, without even looking, I just picked the stand up and said, I'll take that Batmobile, waited in line. And it turns out that Batmobile was from 2021. It was already vintage. So I guess this whole thing was in the warehouse. I don't know, but
I love when I did things like that back in the day, because we could talk all night about
and you look for treasure hunts, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, they changed the treasure hunts around, but we need to get into the show a little bit. So
this is what has to happen, though, is you totally should go on Rex's show. I'm not inviting him on your behalf, but you guys set that up backstage, and let's get into Fanboy for You, because you guys are already fanboying. So let's get into the segment.
So, Rex, this is where I ask you a series of rapid fire questions. And the first thing that comes to the top of your head is probably going to be your most favorite, unless it's your most recent. But I want you to just spit it out and tell us what your favorite movie is.
King Kong.
Which version?
The original.
Nice.
Classic.
Harryhausen claymation stuff.
Yes. Before Harryhausen. Yeah. Willis O'Brien, his birthday on March 1st, the release of King Kong 92 years ago on March 2nd. Very fitting.
And Good Stuff is saying, what's up, Rex Erection?
Hey! You know what's up.
You know, the good stuff must have felt his ears burning, because we were talking about the advertising and everything. Because he's an advertiser. I have to be nice to him now. All right.
All right. Favorite artist, any genre, painting, comics, anything. Favorite
the one
artist.
that got me into comics, George Perez.
Yeah. Wow. That's an old school reference. I love that. That's back in the 70s.
Yes.
Very good. Yeah. That's, you and I are very close in age, I'm guessing.
I turned 60 in November.
I got you by a year. Okay. A year and a half, actually, May.
Okay. Class of 82 or 3?
64.
What? Wait, what?
Wait, what did you say?
Not when you were born, when you graduated high school. 82 or 83?
82.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. We go by high school. When did you graduate high school? 82. Okay. You know exactly how old you are.
Yeah.
Sure.
Class of 65 here.
There you go. Yep. I got you by the year.
You're a boomer, and I'm a first year Gen Xer. They tell me.
That's exactly.
They got it labeled. It's tattooed right there, real in fine print.
It's funny because I am so much a Gen Xer, but my year was the last year of the boomers. So they call me a boomer, but I'm more of a Gen Xer than a boomer.
Yeah.
And
thank God for that.
Yeah. Whatever. You know what? It's just a label.
Well,
it is a label.
As a Gen Xer, I know I have bestowed that title upon both you and Cosmic Grandpa, because you guys are so cool.
Well, thank you.
I guess Rex now, but I don't know. I have to get to know him longer.
Rex truly is a Gen Xer. He got it by the year.
First year. Yeah.
All right. Favorite food. What do you like to eat?
Pizza.
We got quite a few of that. Favorite drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
Ooh. For top of my head. A coffee, I guess.
Coffee too. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Big coffee do you drink coffee in the afternoon too? There you go. It doesn't affect your sleep, does it?
Yes.
It does. Okay.
Who sleeps? I'm good if I get 4 hours a day.
Okay.
And I act it.
All right, next question.
I knew he'd ask that. Damn it.
Yeah, there you go. Favorite character?
Beast.
Any genre. Favorite character?
Beast. The Beast from X-Men, the Blue Beast, though,
Yes.
from Avengers.
The original Beast before he became the blue hairy guy.
No, the blue one that was in the Avengers. Yeah,
Okay.
George Perez Beast got me collecting.
Gotcha.
Hell yeah.
Okay. And your favorite band?
Favorite band? Oh wow. First thing came to my mind, although I don't know if it's my favorite. Beautiful songs like Eleanor Rigby, Beatles. Let's say that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a boomer. That's a boomer answer.
No,
bro.
It is.
Let's be honest. Let me be honest. Okay. Now that if I got to really pick one, and if I was on a desert island and I had only them to listen to, ELO.
ELO's great.
One of my
don't
favorite
bring me down.
all-time bands. Yep. I
Yeah.
followed Jeff Lynne for about 4 years back in high school. I saw him play every year he came out for my entire high school career. And then just as I was going into college, he went underground, or he just like kind of dropped off the face of the earth. And then he did Traveling Wilburys.
Mm-hmm.
He did the Traveling Wilburys in the 90s. And then he kind of like did more directing and producing.
Right.
And he comes out with Jeff Lynne's ELO just within the last 5 years. And I've already seen him 3 times. So absolutely by far ELO. I actually have a hat that I designed and a denim jacket that I designed for the concerts. So I wear them every time I go see ELO. And it's got all the ELO pins from the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Trivia question for you. What was his first band's name?
Ask me
Yeah.
that one again.
Jeff Lynne's first band's name.
Oh gosh, it's before our time, about the time we were born. I can't remember. It's a real strange band name.
Well, the very first one was called the Rockin' Hellcats. That was back
Okay.
when he was in high school.
That was probably late 50s, right? Maybe early 60s.
Yes, late 50s, early 60s. And then when
Uh-huh.
he was with Bev Bevan and oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. The guy who played the lead guitarist in Wizards with Z
Yeah.
was his third partner, and they were the original band that created Bev Bevan, Jeff Lynne, and ELO, and then they added in extras.
hmm
So
I just
Hey.
like that combination of orchestrated, I mean, it's
Absolutely.
grandiose. I like ELO, like I like Procol Harum,
Yes.
nothing
prog rock. You're a prog rocker like me.
or like Moody Blues. It's got
I
a
love Moody
grandiose
Blues.
sound to it. It's epic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Days
It-
of
it-
Future
it-
Past,
Harum.
baby.
It picks you up and transports you somewhere.
Absolutely.
The
Especially if you
problem
get
is they never brought me back. Pick me up.
Okay.
Never brought me.
On that note of bands and everything, we've got Mrs. Good Stuff and Mr. Good Stuff, talking about, what they were fans of when they were 19. It's like they're flirting with each other in,
Yeah,
in
they
chat.
are.
So that's real nice.
let
But
them have fun.
But on the note of first bands and stuff like that, we recently found out that Elvis Costello had a pub band way back in the day named Flip City.
No.
Yep. Which is cool because both me and Scott love Flip City. But I also have to say one more thing because I also love this about something that me and Scott do. So they're like, oh, 9 Inch Nails when I was 19. That's what's my favorite. And Primus and all this kind of stuff. We're obviously all very much 90s kids. But a joke that me and Scott always tell each other, if we hear Radiohead on the radio, we go like this, you like Radiohead? And we go, yeah, I like Radiohead. Cool, let's make out. That's our joke. Anyway, are we done with fanboy for us? Or are we still talking about bands? Because I'll talk about bands all night.
We fanboyed
An
enough.
excuse to make out. Just get knee pads.
Ouch. Ouch.
Hey,
I have to ask you, do you make out after you do that when you hear Radiohead?
usually we're driving. So
That never stopped
But-
me.
but
Just saying.
but you know, there might be a hand on the inner thigh or something
Is
like
that
that.
your stick
Ooh.
shift? Is that your stick shift? Oh, baby.
Okay. Oh my. Moving
Oh,
on.
my. Woo. I got the vapors. I got the vapors.
No, that's in the back.
All right,
All
Christy,
right.
let's
We
do his campaign.
We do need to talk about Rex and Devil Flyer momentum. So we're going to get into that. And Rex, one way that I love kind of opening this up, because I'd like to think I'm exposing you to people that like have never heard of Devil Flyer.
Right?
So what I want you to do, I'd love you very, very much to
Oh,
give your best elevator pitch. Tell people
okay.
what it is in not too many words.
Okay. Devil Flyer basically makes a Faustian type deal with, an evil entity, and it unlocks Pandora's box again. Although not the literal, Pandora's box. Basically, more chaos into the world, and so that becomes a problem. He's not a free agent. For everything good he does, he has to kind of go on a quest, if you will, to destroy these firewalls that's keeping these evil at bay that's been hidden in this temple for thousands of years. And he has to gather up a super team of people that he meets along the way on this Sinbad-like journey and to confront this evil finally. So that's just about it, and we tell all of it in like backup stories along with the Devil Flyer story, and we're going to do like a countdown where we have like 6 stories, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it will become its own book, with just Devil Flyer in it with his own adventures. But till then, it'll have other backup characters that will get rolled in to the main story.
Okay, understandable. And here's something that I wasn't quite clear on when I was looking at your campaign, because I kind of pride myself on like not really asking too much of the people. Like, I don't do pre-interviews. I want to really kind of get the feel of like how you're marketing online and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and give unasked for feedback when I can.
Sure.
So of course, when I'm scrolling your campaign and everything, I made a guess. I'm like, I think this is kind of like a lot of short stories. And I actually got this confirmed by Doc Blaylock. Short
Right.
stories kind of introducing some of the characters in your universe. Is that
Ex-
correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, so I was able to understand that from your campaign, but also because you know, I've gotten to know you a little bit through your own stream, and then you came on Coffee Shop with Doc and stuff like that.
Right.
Um
Again, don't blame me for that. That was
it's
your own free will choice.
it was, and I said this. I'm like, oh boy, we're gonna have Rex, because
Yeah.
that basically it like took out 1 hour of research from my week. So I was thrilled,
Mhm.
to be able to be
Good.
on
I'm
another
glad I
stream
was a
with you.
time saver. That's a
Yes.
first because I'm a master procrastinator like yourself.
Oh, good. I knew we
Mhm.
had more in common than both being
Oh, yeah.
gorgeous.
I've actually got the T-shirt in there, procrastinator, something like that. Can't remember. I hadn't worn it in a while.
I'm a pro too. I'm a procrastinator also. Yes.
Mhm.
We're all
Yeah.
pros.
But I wanted to ask you. I mean, it sounds like you're character building or character development to form a team. Is it a team?
Yeah,
I
like
haven't
the
had a chance-
Avengers or Justice League or some,
Okay.
Teen Titans, whatever. Yeah.
So all the short stories introduce each of your characters that
Right.
form the story arc.
Yeah. Mhm.
Cool.
Well, why don't you talk about like how your book is laid out and what you're doing with like the group of artists that you've been collaborating with to make this what I believe is your first book, right? It's a prequel.
Yeah, I mean, basically, my first book was the little ash can, the Devil Flyer ash can that's still up on Indiegogo, and it basically gives you the first 7 pages in black and white and a bunch of pinups of some of the characters, and that was a proper little campaign up to past $1,400. Not too bad for an ash can. Of course, it's been up there a while. We still ticking away and selling a few, but like in the back, like we got Doc Blaylock's bog here. We got a bog done from me, I think, back in 2017. I had, so it had a pinup section in the back. It's not just about Devil Flyer. Devil Flyer bog was created 10 years ago in 2015. But I have other characters too that I've done and were featured in this book. So kind of give a first look, and get people acclimated to seeing these characters, and go, oh, I've seen that character before. He's cool. I like him, and then something for something else. With these other stories, it's kind of like, there's one that's kind of noirish. There's a couple of stories that are kind of horror bent, although one of them is more text, like a text story, with just a couple of different visuals. Um, some is like superhero. So I'm really hitting the different genres with the different stories. There's a Western 2-page spread in there. So we're all over the place. But yeah, you're basically right. This is my first complete book with the complete stories and stuff, and it is like a superhero anthology. And as soon as you say that, people go, well, anthologies don't sell well. Well, that's a good challenge for me, because I think people will hop on and they'll see I'm really doing something different here, as all these characters are going to meet at some point, and I'm telling all the stories slightly in the past, and there will be stories told in the Old West, in the 40s, in the 50s, etc., throughout. And it'll all
Right.
come together and make sense in the end. Hey, Tank.
Yes, hello Tank, good to see you. And okay, something else that I didn't realize from your campaign, and of
Hmm.
course you have to be, you have to be briefer, more brief in your campaigns. But I found out on Coffee Shop was that you have a shit load of characters, at least that are going to eventually come
Yeah.
into your world. So do you have an exact number of how many you will eventually be introducing?
As many as I can, the likenesses, the names, all that, get them copyrighted, get logos made, things like that. I've got one for my Western character that I created, guess maybe about a year and a half ago, uh, called Midnight. And I've got an artist right now working on the logo for that, Midnight and the Roustabouts, which is going to be a pulp with a comic book section in it. I'm trying to do something different, I thought I haven't been writing that long, since about 2017. I've always considered myself an artist, that does art. And so uh, I, it turns out I'm a fairly good writer. And when it comes to, having both skills is helpful, you know. Um,
Yeah.
I've employed like 22 people on this book already. Now, is it all in the book? No, it's all on the campaign. Some did like art for the book, some did like coloring for the tapestry, some did trading card art, some did fan art and stuff like that. But basically, about 22 people already involved in this project at some point, because it's been happening for about 3 years developing.
So is each person contributing one character of
No,
the 22,
no,
or
not
they're
out
just
of
all
those.
working?
Not all out of all. Like I said, some are colorists, some are got letterers and things like
Okay.
that. But I count them as part of my credit. I would say I've probably got a good 120, 100 to 150 viable characters that could probably
Wow.
do a. I don't. I've probably got more than that. I mean, I've been creating, and I continue to create new characters. I've created new characters. In fact, on this campaign, I continue to do artwork daily, or try to if I'm not writing. I took a break there for a couple of weeks to write some stuff for the Western character that will be coming up. And I'm trying to get her more jailed in my mind and developed. But for the most part, I draw every day. Um, and I, may design a character and hand it off to another to draw, but I design all my characters. I write all the stories. A lot of people thought, since I was commissioning so many artists when I came on YouTube, that I was only a writer, that I couldn't draw at all. So, uh,
I love the only a writer thing though.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you hear that all the time.
Hmm.
Which is kind of a slap in the face to people that are really fantastic writers, you
Right.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying you are one, but
Right. Well, buy my book, find out. I'll send you a
exactly.
complimentary copy, whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, hey, I just got to give a special shout out to Aaron Moriarty and just say, Aaron, if you're still out there
Oh,
listening,
yeah.
I heard you on Call Into the Quite Frankly podcast the other day. So what's up, Aaron?
Hey, hey,
Didn't
Aaron.
Aaron's got his own project, his own book, right?
No, no. Aaron has his own podcast show about
Okay.
uh, intergalactic, interstellar, and psycho. How do I say it? A little bit of everything
Hey, Apex.
on the esoteric side
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
alien or intergalactic
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really cool. Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty.
It's a fun show. I'm hoping that he appears on or at least when we go over to Roku, he comes over and does Madness
Hmm.
Entertainment Group with us. Love
Yeah.
that Madness Entertainment Group.
Any kind of update on the news of that, when you might be doing Roku?
Well, if you have not heard, the Madness Entertainment Group is now an LLC. Thank you to our wonderful producer, Cosmic Grandpa,
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
partnering up with Pops. And we talked a little bit not last week, 2 week. No, it was last week,
Last week.
about Madness Entertainment Group. If you want full updates, please go back to last week's Creative Chaos, and you'll get more information about what's going on with the Madness.
Okay. All right. Good. I'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Levi Skeen, a huge participant in the Madness Entertainment Group, saying the madness is awesome. I'd like to say I participate pretty big too,
Yes, me too.
including this stream being blasted out on the Madness Comic
Hmm.
Network YouTube. And so, love you, Pops, love you, Madness Entertainment Group, and all those freaking awesome live draw streamers that are being published in volume 23. I'm sorry, 24 of Flip City Magazine. You can go check that out at
You can go check
fundmycomic.com/flipcity24.
that out with my sexy voice. Sorry,
I do
Grandpa.
when when it's time for a pitch, I do love leaning into my mic.
Just to lean into the microphone. I know you can't help but want to do it.
I
Do you
know.
find that? Do
Oh,
you
dude.
find that your mind says one thing, but your mouth says another in front of the mic? Does that happen to you?
Oh
It
yeah,
does me.
totally. Oh
Yeah.
man, because seriously, my mind when I think of madness is like that's a bunch of fucking assholes, and then I'm like, I'm kidding, of course, I kid.
Of
I love
course. I kid.
madness.
I kid.
And
Anyway,
real quick, I just want
yeah.
to throw it out there that Aaron Moriarty is also working on 2 children's books as well.
Oh wow, that's great. Yeah,
Aaron,
I would
I
I
hope
would
you
like to
crowdfund.
see I would like to see a lot more people, including myself. I just speak for myself. I would like to see more comic book creators try their hands at children's books. Actually, that's kind of on my list to do at some time. I'm just kind of focusing on the comics right now. And Christy, that was a really good question you asked, was like, how many characters are you going to try and work into this? I guess the short answer is as many as I can, and really have some characterization development with the characters. And uh, I'm one of those that if you can develop a good character, has good characterization, speaks realistically, not this haughty, I'll save the day type thing, or yeah. And also, uh, I think you have to, you develop a good character. A personality should start to form in the reader's mind. I think if you've done that, then you've done your job.
I think that is a wonderful answer to my wonderful question. Thank you so much for that. And guess what, Rex? I gave you shit over on X and you still retweeted it. So thank you so much
Oh,
because,
okay.
and I'm going to say it here live too. So I've been hanging out on your stream and I think this is your first time ever experiencing creative chaos. Am I correct?
I popped in. I think. I mean, I've seen you. I've seen Bruce on here with you a couple times. I don't know that I could stay, very long. I don't know if I even chimed in the chat and said hello, but
Oh, well,
I'm just gonna say yes. You know.
next time, just say hello so that I know you checked in. And remember, of course, hit that thumbs up button. That is something as well. So you've been streaming to your YouTube channel and are somewhat, according to our mutual friend Doc Blaylock, who you two get confused all the time,
I
for
don't
some
get
reason.
confused at all.
Oh,
It's
nobody
obvious.
ever calls you Doc. Oh, that's so sad. Anyway,
What's a true
he
what?
he gets confused with you.
He
I
And
used
does.
to call
Yeah.
cops Doc in the very beginning.
oh yeah, that happens too, I think.
I've called
Early
cops Doc
onset of
sometimes.
something going on there.
Yeah, it's called early onset of I got ADD and I don't remember everything all at once.
Yeah. Well, I think I do want to get into our first segment because I have a burning question for you. Our first segment is called Mansplain, so we're going to get into that now.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's still going to be about you.
Talk with your hips. I said, shush, girl. Shut your lips. Do the Helen Keller and talk with your hips. I said, shush, girl. Shut your lips. Do the Helen Keller and talk with your hips.
I just got to do a quick shout out to Dustin.
What's
from
up,
Geek to the
Dustin?
Thunderdome.
That's
What's
right.
up, Dustin? I'm back on Long Island. I'm back in New York. I got to connect with you. I want to come back on and say hello on your show. So we'll connect. I'll reach out to you tomorrow.
All right. So that was Batman chiming in with his own mansplain to Dustin that they're going to connect. But back to Rex.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk with my hips?
No, that's me. I'm talking with my
Oh.
hips.
Oh, okay.
I did in my seat backstage. You guys
Okay.
didn't
I
see.
didn't see that. I was
And I
looking
never
up.
I never stand up for the camera because I'm always pantless.
Are you in a
Or-
swivel seat? Just
I am.
wondering. You
I
are?
am.
Okay.
Indeed.
There you go.
You're
Indeed.
never supposed to admit you're not wearing any pants.
Oh, really?
I do all the time. I do have pants on today, though.
But you're never supposed to admit to it.
I admit to being into my underwear sometimes.
Wherever
No.
you want, whenever you want.
No,
Yeah.
I'm looking for more viewership. So like, Mind's Eye, Christy without pants. Do you want to see that? I don't know.
Who wants to see that?
Shit. We went so far off the rails from when that stinger played. I totally forgot what I was going to ask Rex.
No.
Oh, no.
You?
I'm going to have him mansplain still.
Yeah.
What were
Well-
you
Look at
smoking before the show?
I totally identify back in the day. I used to take Ritalin, so I was hyperactive.
I'm
ADD,
an Adderall.
whatever you want
I'm
to
an
call it.
Adderall, baby.
Okay, we're gonna switch because we spoke very briefly on the other side of the stinger about your YouTube, and
Mhm.
people have opinions. I mean, it's like fucking assholes, right? Like, you have an opinion, you have an asshole. I
Mhm.
try not to have an asshole, but I have all kinds of. I don't know. No, I try not to be an asshole, but I can't help
Yeah.
myself.
Let's go with
Um,
that.
All right. Anyway, so
We're ADD. We're all assholes.
I wanna talk about the YouTubing while you are a creator. You are somebody that does pay attention to your numbers and you talk to your audience about your numbers and analytics and all that kind of stuff. I'd love for you to mansplain to me, in your opinion, why is it important as a creator to build up a social media? And if you want to focus on YouTube, please do.
Well, baby.
Yes, people haven't been like, demeaning me at the
Well,
beginning
I
of
mean,
this.
if it's mansplaining, it's, like,
Exactly.
uh, look, folks, you either get it or you don't. Yeah. Grab it while you get it. Um,
Exactly.
yeah. I mean, okay. Kick to the groin. That's one thing. A facial slap. Nothing. She's in California. What's she going to do to me? Hey, maybe Grandpa will get me with his walker. I don't know. Um, yeah, I've been on YouTube for celebrated. I mean, I was a lurker, but as far as putting up content, I made my channel back in August, but it was at the end of December before I ever started using it. So, celebrated 3 years in December, so we're on the march for a fourth year. And it's very important, I think, especially if you have something to sell. If you want to be a professional YouTuber or whatever, I do what not a lot of people do is do a daily show, daily, 7 days a week, 366 days last year because it was leap year. You know, um, I put in the time, and I uh, take my life and I kind of build around this 4 o'clock spot. And
Yeah, and you stream for a while. I don't know if you do it every day, but your streams last a bit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, if you get somebody on there that just won't shut up,
Like you?
like me, yeah, uh-huh. We try and do 2 hours, but we've done less than that. We've done way more than that. I've the maximum I've streamed is 30 hours in a row. Oh, did a marathon stream, 30 hours, and then turned around that Monday and did 16.
Wow. Okay, well, give me a background on why you did that.
Far too much. Apparently to piss Pops off because that's when we had our dropout.
Oh, you guys had a fallout?
Yeah, it was to kind of promote the channel, get out there more. Although everybody accuses me of streaming all the time anyway. Nobody can stream all the time. And I've actually been trying to, I guess I get a lot of exposure because I'm there every day, but that's a good thing. You get noticed. You're there every day. And yet I know that I mean, we've been on a romp lately with my channel growing exponentially. I don't know that I'm doing or my co-host is doing anything better. Having a good co-host like Bruce is invaluable. You already know that, to have somebody to play off of, and have a different opinion that might differ. It just makes for a more interesting viewing, I think. And
Oh, I
looking like
agree.
our
I
don't haven't heard any.
I've told Bruce, like, I think most people come for him. Or maybe the mustache, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I,
But
I
maybe
feel
the
like
win.
I feel like I want to go fencing with him, like he's D'Artagnan or somebody of the Three Musketeers.
Well,
He's
I do
got the
carry
facial
lots
hair.
of blades. I am a blade man, so
I
you're
am
not
too.
far
I am
off.
too. I actually that's the sport that I excelled in. I did track, I did basketball and things like that, but it wasn't until I experienced fencing in college and actually won the tournament in between 40 people that I really like fencing and I would love
Wow.
to fence on a
I,
daily
I,
basis if I could.
I don't fence, but I did study Aido, which is samurai sword, and I studied
Ah,
that. I studied that for a couple of years.
okay. All right. Yeah.
Thank you,
Uh,
Tank Ferret. Yes, it is the mustache.
yeah.
You get more comments on that mustache than anything else. It is true. But
Yeah,
I
with the
really,
beard
I, I
must you can enjoy. Now, this is just between me and Bruce because a woman wouldn't understand this. Most
well,
women. Now, I've worked with the homeless, I've worked with prisoners. It went into the prison system for a long time, for like 7 years. I did worked with the homeless for like 3 or more. Actually at a different 3 different places, and uh, you can enjoy your meal and your drink a little bit later if you've got facial hair. Just
That's gross.
yeah. But now I had, and the reason I brought up worked with the homeless, actually, when I was worked at the first homeless place, there was a woman came in. She was married. They had another companion with them, so I don't know what's going on there. But she had a full dark beard, very dark, probably in her 20s, and mustache, and unshaven, you know, probably about half of what you got, which if you just bob that by half, that's still a lot and especially on a woman. Uh, she had dark stubble, even though she shaved it when she was there. But by the time she left, she had it grown out again. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
It's all
You
those
know,
Even women
hormones
can
she was
grow
taking.
facial hair.
it's
I
the
get you.
hormones, you say?
It's the
It's the
hormones
hormone.
she was taking.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I had my niece, my the firstborn in my family, right? As far as nieces and nephews go. And a few years ago, I said, "Oh, I remember when you were born, and I saw you, and you were naked, and you had all that hair on your back." And she's like, "That never went away, Aunt Christy." I'm like, "I just love you for admitting that," because she's half Mexican,
Yeah.
and Mexicans are hairy, I guess.
Yeah. I on my show today, I showed a hairy sumo wrestler, had the arm hair and back hair
I
and stuff.
I was gonna say the Italians
Hmm.
and the Mexicans are probably some of the hairiest people next to the Romanians.
Are Romanians the hairiest?
Um, Romanians and Greeks. Oh my God, Greeks are very hairy too.
Do
But
they tend to have a unibrow?
yes, yes, yes. So I am like those people with the hair all over my body. I
Hmm.
come from Romanian background,
Oh,
and
there
my
you go.
grandmother would always wear long sleeve shirts, and I never understood why. She'd either wear a nice blouse and then a sweater, and the sweater would come down literally to her wrists.
Hmm.
Well, I saw my grandmother one day without the sweater on for the first time. I must have been like 15 years old, and I realized why she wears the sweater.
Did
Yeah.
you say anything or were you kind?
Nope, I didn't say a word, but I
Nice.
know where I get it from. I know where I get it from. It's my
You come from
Romanian
it honest,
heritage.
right? As long as
My
they don't
Romanian.
try and throw you in a cage and take you to the zoo, you're good.
Well, the scary part was my grandmother's mother was kidnapped by Romanian gypsies way back in the day when she was a teenager, and my grandfather's father rescued her and married her. So that's the love story. But the
Wow.
gypsies out there in Romania were a wild bunch. So,
Yeah.
but I digress. Let's continue, Rex. You're mansplaining here.
Well, I think you did a pretty good job, and
Okay.
it's probably time to get into conspiracy corner,
Yes.
everybody. One of my
Looking
favorite
forward.
ways.
I wanna live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those weren't aliens.
All right, Rex. So we are fully protected once I put on my very own Flip City branded tinfoil hat. Basically, the purpose of Conspiracy Corner is not necessarily to know exactly what you're talking about. Doctor Who. Okay, that works for me. Oh shit,
Okay.
I lost it. Wait, oh, hold on. I'll get it. Okay.
Operative 85. Beam the beams now.
All right.
She's unprotected.
So much like how Batman or Bruce likes to get to know people by kind of all the pop culture stuff that
Yeah.
you like, I like to get to know people to see how much of a conspiracy theorist you are.
Okay.
And we've got, of course, our regular viewer Levi Skeen over there saying, "Spin the wheel." So you're going to be introduced right now to our Wheel of Conspiracy, and I'm going to tell you how it works. So if we can bring that up, this is our Wheel of Conspiracy, and there's many, many topics. You get 3 spins. You can choose to stay on the first or second topic, but if you choose to spin a third time, you're stuck with that topic no matter what. But the great thing about this is even if you don't know anything about what you're talking about, you can just make shit up. It does not matter.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
You don't need to be an expert.
All right.
All right.
We
Are you
don't
ready to
fact-
spin
we
the
don't
wheel?
fact check. We don't fact check here.
Yeah, no fact checking.
All right. So are we? Do we? I get a chance to spin it 3 times, right?
Yes.
But now, do I have to? I mean, at
No.
least twice. I mean, if I
No,
get
you
the
can
right-
stick. You can stick with the first topic even.
Okay. All right.
If you
All
like
right,
it, you keep it.
Let's
Yeah.
spin it.
All right, let's spin that wheel.
Well, I do tell you this.
Human potential.
Human potential. Okay.
Yes, yes. I mean, you can go, I do try, the wheel is weird because there's some
Mhm.
that are very pointed and others that are very broad. And this is an
Okay.
example of a
I like broads.
broad topic.
This is going to be good. I like broads.
See, I was really hoping you called me a broad in mansplain, but you called me,
Mansplaining, right? Yeah.
yeah, you called me
I
something
would
else.
not do that.
Do you want to stick with human potential or spin again?
Yes, human potential. Good. Good topic.
You like it?
Uh-huh.
Nice. It's very rare that anybody sticks with that first topic.
Okay.
So good on you. All right, let's talk about human potential.
Well, I'm here's a negative, okay? Aliens get the credit for the pyramid building. Come on now. Come on. You know,
Aliens
one
do
of- one of the
like in
greatest
Ancient
achievements-
Aliens, they do. In
one
Ancient
of the
Aliens,
greatest achievements of humankind, and we hand it off to something that's not even been proven. Human potential.
well, hold on. You said that
not-
like that's a proven fact that we give aliens, the credit for building I think you watch
A lot of people do. A lot of people do. They're like, how could we do it? There's no way. It's so precise and they're so heavy. And we can't even do it today with modern machinery. It'd be very difficult. How did they do it thousands of years ago? They used their human mind. Okay. They figured it out.
Okay, listen. And this was just, I think I learned this, or not learned, but it was a question posed to me about the Stone Age.
Mm.
Like, what do you think of when you hear Stone Age? And I'm like, I think of the Flintstones, dude. And
Okay.
then the person I was talking to was
We'll
like,
have a gay old
okay,
time.
right. But it's like, no, actually, I think it was humans learned how to manipulate stone in certain ways. Like
Mhm.
maybe psychically. Is that kind of what you're going for? I mean,
Well,
not the official story that they rolled all this shit across deserts or whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, like in South America, you see fitted stones, with very precise, precision. And there is some theorem that they melted and molded those stones into place. I could see that, especially in the construction of the South American stones that resembled corn pods or corn kernels. That's what it looks like, is corn. They were actually mimicking something that was a very important part of their day-to-day life, from what I understand.
I am dating a Peruvian Inca Indian for the last 3 years now, and
I'm
been
sorry
to
for your
Peru.
loss.
no,
rude.
she's doing great.
Rude.
She's doing great.
She's doing great.
Well, get her on here. I want to talk to her.
But,
Go ahead, Bruce.
she took me to I took her to Machu Picchu. Her and her daughters, they've lived in Peru their
Ooh,
entire lives. They've never been to Machu Picchu.
that's
But then while
awesome.
we were in Cusco, we went into the old village of Cusco, and you're right.
Mhm,
I mean, the rocks are literally
mhm,
stuck up against each other, and there's no mortar. They're
yeah.
just sitting on top of each other. They're either chiseled or honed
Mhm.
or sanded somehow to fit one into the other like a puzzle piece.
I was
And
thinking the piece that I did last night was very much like that because he is a
correct.
stone character, and I
Oh.
mentioned to my co-host that these look like those stones in South America. Have you seen those where they look fitted together? And the
And
theorem
they've actually
is
they
yeah,
put patterns in. So there's a snake, the
hmm
condor, and the panther. And
hmm
you see the designs in the stone. So
yeah.
they've actually that had to be done by hand, and there's no way that you can honestly tell me that some extraterrestrial being came down and went zap poof, there they go. I'm sorry. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Continue, please.
Well, I just hate that mankind gets the slight because of the alien thing. I'm not here to say, and I've seen a UFO in broad daylight. Now, you'd think I would believe, but to me, okay, maybe not. Maybe we got reptilian race that's around here fooling us. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there, right? But uh, I'm like, let me see it. Let me really see it. And I've seen more than in my lifetime. I really have. You would think I'd be convinced, but I just hate that we're taking instead of putting our energies in how did mankind do this, we say, well, aliens, and that's not everyone. You're right, Christy. It's not everyone that says that, but there's a big growing community, and I think Ancient Aliens and other shows like that on the History Channel and other shows on other channels kind of contribute to that way of thinking. We would rather put it off on, well, aliens or the gods of the ancients of the Anunnaki and all this interesting stuff, but
It's
yeah,
Anunnaki, but I do
okay,
want this. Levi's asking the question
don't
that
knock it
I
till you
want to
try it.
ask.
Okay.
Basically, not necessarily like the Tartarians, but is it technology or is it the official story that we're being told? Like, in your opinion?
Is it okay? Ask me that again.
So basically, is it that humans actually were able to have and manipulate technology that we don't have now? Have now,
Mhm.
or is it the official story? Like
I
how
think
they
things are
say.
lost all the time. One of the interesting things in Pompeii that they found was from India, a statue from India. So that tells you right there were a lot of trade going on, and that object traveled thousands of miles to get to Pompeii, which is not that extraordinary, but I think that's eye revealing, that they were maybe more metropolitan at that time than what we realize. Ley lines, very energy, the Bermuda Triangle. I mean, and I know what Levi's talking about there. Up around southern Russia, I suppose. Um, yeah, the lost knowledge in society. Yeah, I think we got lost knowledge, and absolutely. I mean, knowledge is treasures are being found every day and lost every day.
Do you
Same
think
thing with technology.
the lost knowledge was due to some outside force like making us lose the knowledge, or it just happens
Well, look at
as a
okay,
natural
perfect
cycle?
example, Egypt, the Library of Alexandria that's written about. Well, how much did we lose there? And then they found what that Tibetan Tibetan not mutt, but monk repository that had like 850 years worth of knowledge or something. They just found that all hidden away.
I hadn't heard about that. Tell me
Yeah,
more.
cuneiform tablets and stuff that we find all the time. stuff that only a handful of knowledge that people know, because we don't. Everyday person is not going to unless you have an interest in it. You're not going to research that type of stuff. And I do think governments kind of want to keep a lot of that stuff to themselves, right? It gives you an advantage.
Why do you think they store all that crap in the basement of the Vatican?
That and also, what the hell is it with the Smithsonian being the only people that get to like get these treasures and hold them, and then shit like giant bones get completely disappeared?
That's
You
what
know,
I'm saying. I think they're destroying a lot of the hidden history, like the giants that used to be here, and even the biblical text tells you. I didn't tell Bruce I studied Hebrew in college, and even speak a little bit of it. But he's probably more educated on that than I am. But I've studied type stuff like that, and I think it's important that we, reach out to things that are influence our everyday lives. Uh, Even though, and I try and put myself back in that time, right? What was it like? And it's, unless you really lived through that time, you don't know 100%, how that was. And you might even misremember, even if you did live during that time. But
Do you
yes,
believe
it
in
helps.
reincarnation?
Do I believe in reincarnation? I do not personally, no.
Okay.
Although I think there's a big argument for it. I think there's
Yeah.
a big argument for it, for sure.
No, but back to what you were saying about the things that are taken and lost to time. I mean, Ark of the Covenant. It was even depicted. It was even depicted in something like Indiana Jones, and it was taken by the government and it was stored away, never to be seen from again.
Yeah.
Labeled with a number and stuck in a box.
And I think perhaps a lot of that stuff has been destroyed. I know, things, some of the oldest achievements of mankind were destroyed in Mesopotamia when they had ISIS come through there. They destroyed some of the first artifacts of mankind. And you can't get that back. Fortunately, we live in an age where we digitally recorded a lot of that, but now it's just gone. If you want to examine the thing and maybe discover something new that nobody else ever said, you can't do that. It's gone due to the ignorance of man.
It's with the Ark of the Epstein files.
Yeah. I love that Cosmic Grandpa is like basically writes his stand-up routine during Creative Chaos. So thank you, Cos.
Yeah.
Shit. ADD flew out of my head. But because you brought it up right near the beginning of Conspiracy Corner, and I have to know more, please tell us about your UFO in daylight sighting thing. I have to know more.
I was out fishing with my father-in-law out at a pond that I still own out there. Or my parents do. It's on their land. And I was out fishing and wasn't even aware of it. It didn't make any sound, leave a vapor trail or anything like that. Have you seen an ant egg? It looked like an ant egg, just a cylindrical, almost like a cigar. And I think one of the first, if not the first, UFO in 1897 was talked about as long and cylindrical as a cigar. And that was what this was. And I didn't even hear it. And my father-in-law said, "Hey, what Noki Day?" Because that's what he called me, which was a takeoff of Pinocchio. "Hey, Noki Day, hey, what's that up there?" And I looked up, and then it slowly started moving away from me. So it was above me, and I didn't even know it in broad daylight. I was focusing on fishing, and I got to observe it for a good 20, 30 minutes as it just kind of, and then 45 minutes later, I saw a jet go over. And you know how the jets seem to go so slow and hang there because they're so far up, This thing must have been moving. It didn't go woo, because I observed it for about 20 or 30 minutes, kind of go in a westerly southern direction, you know. Eventually would kind of zag over and zag again and zag over, you know, to it very slowly, you know, it would start at this point and wind up over there, you know. So yeah, I got a good look at it, but that was in the day before cell phones, I guess, so I couldn't take a picture.
Right. Well,
Otherwise,
I think you're the only the second person on Creative Chaos that has admitted very openly to having a UFO, a personal UFO
well, I mean, you know,
sighting.
again, I've seen stuff at night, like lights, different things like burst or whatever, because I drive at night, you know. Uh, so I'm out while a lot of people aren't. You don't have a lot of light pollution often. Uh, Sometimes you do, but I mean, yeah, this was in broad daylight in the summer. You know,
Yeah.
May 15th, 1990. That's that same
Wow.
year I turned over in a gas truck with 2,000 gallons of gas with the same man. We had a strong connection, maybe a telekinesis. I don't know, whatever, telepathy. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, and I'll prove it to you. Uh, we were coming back driving in a truck, right? And I'm looking out the window and we're talking about everything. I'm married to his daughter, right? My first marriage, 1990. Got married that year too. It was a big year for me. Lived to regret it.
Oh.
Anyway, I had heard this song a couple days before. Secret Agent Man, Secret Agent Man. Okay. Not your common song that you hear on the radio. You very rarely hear that song anymore, right? But it sticks with you. So in my mind, I'm singing that song. And I had no more than stopped. And about 20 seconds later, he starts singing it verbally out of his mouth. And I'm like, wait, stop. Why are you singing that song? You know, I'm like, was there something going, you know, it wasn't
Yeah.
like a popular song, you know. It was so distinctive. I said, something's got to be going on there. We got a special connection. Our brains
Yeah,
are synced up or something.
Levi Skeen calls it psychic rapture.
I
Psychic
think
rapture. Okay.
I think it's nice when you have those connections with people. Like Scott and myself would do stuff like that. He brought something up the other day that
Mhm.
happened, and he's like, "Oh, he vibed this thing, and that happened." I'm like, "Oh yeah," but it's also when it happens so often that you almost kind of start taking it for granted, and then it gets pointed out again. I'm like, "Aw, it's so nice to have that relationship." So, do you not have a relationship with your ex father-in-law any longer?
I don't even know if he's still alive. I
Oh,
imagine by now he's probably gone.
that's too bad. And I am going to take this moment because I see 44 people watching, and you have to remind people if you're watching and there is a thumbs up or anything like that, please thumbs up this stream. That would be
Like,
awesome.
subscribe, ring that bell, and hit that thumbs up. And if you're on
Yeah.
pill.net, hit the red pill and show us some love so the algorithms bring us back.
How dare you?
All right. Bruce, when I said that he was the second person to tell a UFO story, I was only thinking the first person being, now I think I know who. I I was remembering the first person being Justin Belmont, but are you talking Aaron Moriarty? Okay. You're the
Maybe
third
3 people.
person.
Okay.
Yeah. And anybody that's out there in chat that wants to drop a comment, if you have seen strange things in the sky that you could not explain, I'd love to know it. And on that note, I think we are going to leave Conspiracy Corner, unless you have any further questions, Bruce. And I'm only asking because I want to get a beer.
We're going
Before,
to talk toys. Go get a beer.
all right. I'll be right back, you guys.
You can talk boy toys.
Absolutely.
Do it.
So, Rex, do you collect a specific kind of action figure outside of the Hot Wheels stuff? Or are you like a little bit of everything? You dabble? because I'm looking at your collection behind you, and I see some pops, I see some statuettes, some resin or some PVC. So
A little bit of everything. Yeah.
yeah, my mainstay's always been Batman, but I do dabble, and I dabble way too much because, like you, I have a smattering of everything from Ghostbusters to Potato Heads to Star Wars, Scooby Doo. Look behind me, and I can see wrestling. I can see Iron Maiden. Yeah, I've got
But if
so
you
much
had to
stuff.
call it down to one thing, what would it be?
Batman, hence my
That,
name.
yeah.
Batman. I've been collecting Batman since I'm 5 years old. So
I probably
we're
got
talking.
about 3 stands full of nothing but Batman Hot Wheels, you know.
That's
Although
that.
I like the um oh shoot. The British brand. Not
Corgi.
Artel.
Corgi.
Corgi. Yeah, corgis. Yeah, I like the corgis. Yeah.
Actually, just to give you an idea,
Welcome back, Christy. Enjoy your beer. My God, when you say get a beer, I mean, God, here's a beer. That's all. Ah, yeah. And what year's that from? Do you know?
this is new. This is Jada Toys 2017.
Oh, I like Jada. I like Jada. I'm familiar with Jada. Yeah.
This is a monster truck that Hot Wheels put out with the 66
Okay.
Batmobile. And this is
Mhm.
from 2023 to
I know Hot Wheels.
2024.
Hot Wheels a while back had those monster type trucks too. With that, where there was
Right.
probably
Well, they
Batman.
were, yeah, they were doing monster trucks for the longest
Mhm.
time. They got the license originally back in the day. So they were
Mm.
doing the Monster Jams lineup. And then another toy company came along called Spin Master, which has always been out there. I actually dabbled in the toy industry from 1989 to about 2019. I would go to Toy Fair every year. I was friends with Alan Hassenfeld of Hasbro Toys, Hasbro
Mhm.
Hassenfeld Brothers, Hasbro
Mhm.
Toys. And I designed a series of Batman action figures that his company took the prototypes from me and created their own line. And in lieu of payment, because I really wasn't in the money at that time, I was into the toys and the collecting. Well,
Yeah.
I received like a truckload of freaking
Wow.
Hasbro Batman animated back in 92, 93, 94, 95 when they first came out with the animated figures. And I have
Mhm.
caseloads of that stuff still to this day that was
Wow.
given to me by Alan Hassenfeld for my ideas. And
I
I had a
like
letter
what
from him.
I like what NECA's doing with their figures and stuff, and that they seem to be the poor man's collectors. You know, that's very.
Randy,
I've got some of the Kongs. I've seen some of the Universal monsters. I like that. You know,
yeah,
classic
Randy
stuff.
that runs the company is an amazing guy, and he takes care of the journalists. I was a journalist for many years in the toy industry. Um,
Wow.
I wrote articles back in the day when the internet
Hmm.
was just in its infancy, commercially. Of course, we
Yeah.
know, as Cosmic Grandpa can tell you, the internet's been around much, much longer. Shortly after we got out of diapers, but I
Thank you,
digress.
Al Gore.
How he could ever lay claim to creating the internet to this day still boggles my mind. The man was just out of diapers himself when the internet first came to be. So
Right. Right.
please.
Well, you know,
But
Ross Perot made his money by investing in IBM back in the 50s. He was a smart guy for doing that, you know.
yes, he was.
He
And
was like for 5 years worked with IBM, I think. So you know, he was like cutting edge back in the 50s, you know.
that's right. Long before Apple was even a twinkle in his eyes.
I remember the green screen apples, absolutely, you know. They were old by the time I made it to college, you know. They they had a whole room, but of those first generation apples that nobody used. A lot of wasted space. They have one
Yep.
graphics computer that only 1 or 2 people knew how to use in the whole university. What a waste! I think they paid like $4,000 for it. You know,
Right?
nobody could use it because the language was so complex, and nobody they had to have a manual. Even the teachers had to sit there and try and tick something out on it. It was such a waste.
Well, our producer, Cosmic Grandpa, is from that era. and he was coding and creating and building his own computers long before he even got out of high school. So
Do you find this, Bruce, when you go to like a grocery store and you see a young kid and then, they're introverted or whatever, and I always try and engage them and get them in a conversation. And if it's not this on the telephone, they don't know how to talk to you. In fact, you see they're surprised that you're trying to engage them and talk to them and carry on a conversation. I know
yes,
you and I don't, and maybe it's different because you're up north, I guess, and
right.
and Northerners tend to talk a lot, right? At least
Yes,
that's
we do.
yeah. And
Yes, we
but
do. And
do you?
Cosmic was pointing out, that he also owns a computer museum in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which I'm actually
Wow.
going to finally get to see when I go there we're going there to Steel City Con this year in April,
Okay.
beginning of April. But I digress. Go ahead. You were saying.
Can I interest you in the largest ball of twine?
What
You
movie
know,
was
I
that in? Pee Wee Herman, wasn't it? Wasn't that in Pee Wee Herman?
probably, yeah. But or I thought it was also in one of the National Lampoon movies.
Yes.
Because they were
Yes.
kind of on a trek to see all that stuff.
Right. Chevy Chase.
Chevy
And
Chase, absolutely.
Beverly, I can't think of her name.
Christy
Yes.
Brinkley.
No, Christy Brinkley was the one
Forget
in the
Beverly.
Ferrari.
Bring on Christy.
Bring on Christy.
Uh,
Well, Billy Joel
no,
got a
I
piece
mean,
of that. Then he had to get rid of her.
I like to engage young people, in conversations and, see the reactions because a lot of young people, they really don't know how to carry on a conversation with other people if they're not people of their own age.
Right. They do not know how to interact with anybody older than them. It's true. It's true. Because they've spent 90% of their life living through their phone vicariously because they don't know anything
Yeah.
else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we
Not
were out on our bikes.
not all. Not all.
Not all.
I raised a very wonderful young lady. She's 22 and knows how to interact with adults and the young people. But I think it was also because I raised her because I didn't have any uh, friends that had kids, and so she had
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of adult friends growing up. You know.
Yeah, that helps. I think one thing that helped me is I'm adopted, and my parents were older when they got me, so they passed on that maturity without even knowing it. Uh, with that said, within the last year and a half, I've actually met, or not met, but I talked to on the phone. I haven't met her yet. Hopefully, I'll meet her next month. My sister, my birth sister.
That's cool.
And hey, there we go.
What's up,
Is that
Scotty?
Grandpa?
It's a surprise visit from Scott.
Hi guys.
Hey, Scott.
Let's try to stay warm in here.
Yeah, no heat on in there. I mean, you're out in freezing California.
Hey, we got a foot of snow today, you guys. So
Did you really?
yeah,
Wow.
stop giving me shit. It was beautiful, but I am not looking forward to shoveling.
Wow. It was probably about 70 here today. Very nice weather.
Well, when
Where
I
are you
got
at?
in, when I got in today, backstage with Kaz, he's like, it was 80 on my back porch. So I think we might be swapping weather.
Okay. I'm in Northeast Arkansas, Bruce.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm about an hour out of Memphis. I'm about 45 minutes from where Johnny Cash was born.
Oh, there you go. That's what is that? The Sun Records?
Yeah, he
Sons
signed
of
with Sun
Steel
Records. I just watched the episode of Quantum Leap where he leaps into the body of Elvis right before he gets his contract, and he's messing it all up, the record deal for Elvis by trying to help somebody else, So it's a lot of fun to know some of the history of Sun Records and Memphis and Elvis. And right out of Memphis, Tina Turner was from
Yep.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I read Sam Phillips' biography.
Yeah,
on
they've
Sensory-
actually
on
got
Sensory
a Tina
Records.
Turner museum, although I've not been to it.
That's cool. I would love to visit that.
One of the best concerts I ever saw in Memphis was Tina Turner. Absolutely. It was a sellout crowd, sat all the way to the back. She sang 20 songs and went through 4 costume changes. Now you tell me that woman wasn't a performer.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
hmm
That's amazing.
You're lucky if you get 8 or 9 songs out of somebody today, you know.
It's true. Well, we went to go see Cher, and she tried to pull that same shit. We took my step monster, my monster-in-law, and my aunt-in-law, yes, to go see Cher. They'd never been to a concert, and we took
Never?
them both to go see Cher.
How do you never see a concert?
I thought I was a late bloomer in that. And it was a friend that invited me from high school. It was my senior year, 1984. I had not seen a concert. He couldn't believe that I hadn't seen a concert. Bruce, I thought earlier when in our discussion tonight that you were going to ask that question when you got on the music bent. What was your first concert? And you didn't ask it. So I'll tell you, it was Van Halen with Jump.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, not bad. Let's all talk about our first concerts. I mean, who does not love first concert stories, right?
1977, before my bar mitzvah, it was my mother throwing a surprise birthday party for my father, and she made him take us to the Nassau Coliseum, me and my 3 cousins, to go see Kiss perform Detroit Rock City.
There you go. You go.
That was a great show. It was my first concert ever. I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Not bad. You know,
talk about going into manhood. You know,
right?
Did you get to see the fire?
Yes, the blood, the fire,
the blood. Yeah,
the fly. You know, being lifted up in the air. You know, all the crazy stuff Gene Simmons would do, and then of course Ace Frehley with his guitar, and then it started sparking out of the front of the guitar, and then he started flashing it, and of course he had all the mirrors on it, and it was reflecting off of all the lights in the ceiling, and so the sparks were coming out of the middle of the guitar. The light rays were flashing and reflecting off everything, and he was sitting there playing it, and it was just shooting up. It was wild. It was an insane
Christy,
time.
how about you? First concert. Go.
Yeah, okay. So I feel like a little bitch because, well, it's very dated, and you guys saw Legends, and my first concert was, and I don't even know if either of you will know either of these bands. It was Ned's Atomic Dustbin and Jesus Jones, who were popular for a short time.
I've heard of Jesus Jones.
Yeah. So that.
And who was it? Subatomic.
But it was Ned's Atomic Dustbin and Jesus Jones, and that was my first concert. I had a fucking blast. It was at a club, and I just like I left the club covered in sweat, and I'm sure 3/4 were not mine. You know, just like one of those types of
mosh pit.
Yeah, it pretty much was like that. But I found out, gosh, more than a decade later, Scott was at that concert.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that once before.
Yeah. So that was my first show. It was a great first show and very 90s.
Christy, how long have you and Scott been together?
Since 2002. Since 2002.
Wow.
I'm sorry, the very beginning of 2003 was our first date, but we knew each other in 2002. And I pursued him because that's how autistic he is. And I love creative people, and I can tell
I can
that
see you tackling him and getting him in a scissor lock. Absolutely.
Dude, I did the girl thing. So I had a good friend, a good male friend tell me that, men pursue and women place themselves. And that's exactly what I did.
You are the object of my desire.
Yes. I found out where he lived. And
Yeah.
I would
Well,
place
that's the
myself.
definition of a woman. You don't mind being called an object. You know, now women, you know, there's certain women, oh, how dare you? But, you know, look, you know, you got to be comfortable in your own skin and what you are, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, that's the thing. The best thing, I mean, if we're going down the whole like being an object, I
Mhm.
do want to be an object of somebody's affection, and I
Yep.
still do it daily,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, thank
Not,
you.
I don't think any of us want to, you know, on their resume say, die alone. Okay.
It's true.
It's true.
God. Well, and isn't that the crazy thing about the leftists and everything and all the crazy cat women and everything?
Hmm.
Like, this is another reason why I can still have empathy. It's like, oh, you're gonna learn too late. You're gonna be all out of eggs and like not be able to have children, and you fucking hate men.
Yeah.
So what are you
One
gonna
one of
do?
the one of the saddest things though is to see a woman or a man in their 70s and 80s and they still don't have a clue. They've never learned anything. They're just batshit crazy off some leftist whatever, and they've never gotten any grasp on reality. You know, I hate to see that. It's like, yeah, what a
Yeah,
wasted life, man. You have missed so much. The richness of if you don't enjoy living, my God, there's so much out there to enjoy. I mean, you know, we live in a wonderful place and you're focused on the wrong things if you don't have a lot of joy in your heart every day, you know?
Positive energy breeds positive action. You got to be
Absolutely.
positive about life in general. And
And I'm
thank you.
tired of going in and seeing these negative zone people. You equal distance from me, you bastard. You're tight.
I can't
Put
even.
your
I can't
mask
even.
on.
Yeah, I can't even be around negative people anymore because they
Yeah.
drain my positive energy. It's frustrating.
Yeah. It is
well,
frustrating, you know, and it makes it miserable for the rest of us, you know. Uh, I was telling somebody the other day, I don't get why. I mean, it's never been a skin thing with me. You know, my father worked with all types of people, you know, in his job. And from very young, I learned, and I had that maturity of my parents as well to guide me. And a lot of people didn't have parents like that because their parents began so young themselves. They were children when they had children.
Yeah.
And I kind of messed my life up by having children so young too, you know, and derailed my life and career for a long time.
I think I
But
think
they're a
it's
joy
important
on
to,
themselves, you know, not bashing it.
it's important. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if I muted or not. My phone's fucked up.
You're muted.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. I'm
Oh,
joking. I actually told somebody that and they destroyed their laptop. But it's one of my favorite jokes. They got
okay.
so frustrated they threw it across the room, came back on their phone, and I said I was just joking, and they said, "Oh, great! I just destroyed my laptop."
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad I'm not that emotional.
yeah,
Where I'm going to
yeah.
throw my phone. But I think in that situation, because I do personally believe like fucking have kids young,
Hmm.
and have them grown while you're still pretty freaking young and
Hmm.
start living your best life and have a good relationship with your parents and
Oh,
let
absolutely.
them help. Because what grandparent does not want to help as much as freaking possible? You
I
know?
have a I have a friend that I hadn't caught up with in a while, and I talked to her on the phone the other day for a long time. She's a nurse, and went back. You're never too old, you know. Our kids were like, "You don't have us as an excuse anymore, Mom. Go back to school, get your whatever degree, whatever, and get a better job. You know, get a better paying job." And I totally agree with that. And she said that her daughter had 6 kids and she's a stay-at-home mom. That is her job, and that's all she wanted to do. And I was like, I can kind of see that with her, but wow, you know, you don't find those people, you know, I mean, used to 10 kids. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, the Wesley brothers that started the Methodist church, that are Charles and the other Wesley. Anyway, their mother had 17 kids. And you would think she'd had no time at all. No faith based. If you're going to have 17 kids, you better know God. What she would do, she would take her apron and put it over her head, and she would go into prayer. And all the kids said, "Don't bother Mama. She's praying." And she probably did that multiple times because she's probably losing her mind with that many kids, 17 kids. But big families were not that uncommon in this country. We baby boomers. Enough said. Come on.
Right.
Big families.
Well, hey, this has been a fantastic conversation, and
Didn't blow it. Yes.
I am super happy that I was able to dial back in on my messed up phone and all that. But I do want to start closing it out. And Rex, you don't know this about Creative Chaos either. You leave with a fresh Flip City branding, and I picked something very, very special for you. So after this, you're branded. Exactly.
As long as it's not the mark of Cain, we good.
It's not. It's a Flip City branding, and everybody wants it because it comes with the bonus of always being invited back to Flip City FAFO streams where we have parties and it's fun, in my own opinion, but and I think also our viewership's opinion. So
I haven't heard anybody complain about your FAFO streams. They've been rather interesting.
That's true.
So, Christy, if I came out there to California, where would you take me to eat? I mean, if money was no object, what would you recommend?
Oh no, I'm not even saying money's not an object, but I would take you to In-N-Out.
Okay, I don't even know what that is. What is that?
That's crazy because it's actually kind of nationally known as the Southern California burger place, and it has been reaching out, but I've eaten there ever since I was young, and they basically only serve burgers, fries, and shakes, and it's all fresh, Christian, family owned, and freaking wonderful. I took a friend from South Africa in this last year because he had heard of it in South Africa. I can't believe you haven't heard of it. And one of it, and this is another thing about In-N-Out, they have giant lines. And when you see it, especially if you don't know what In-N-Out is, you go, "Oh my God, this is going to take forever."
Oh, In-N-Out. Okay, I've heard of it.
Yes, I would take you to In-N-Out and challenge you to not love it.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to try that. Yeah. How about you, Bruce? Would you take me anywhere? What would you recommend? Whoop, he's muted. Or he's a great mime.
I have a favorite watering hole out here in Long Island called The Lark. And they have 100 varieties of different beers. I happen to be a stout man. I like a dark, rich, chocolatey or coffee-flavored beer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They make some amazing gourmet pub burgers. So I'd bring you out to The Lark, and we'd have burgers and beer.
So burgers all around, man. Whether I go to Long Island or I feel like if I go to Long Island, I need to ask for a coney, though.
We could get you conies. We can get to go to any Nathan's and get you a Coney Island hot dog. But honestly, I'd rather take you to The Lark or White Castle is one of my favorite fast food.
Well, I'm T-Rex. I'm a meat eater. I'm a carnivore. Yeah.
White Castle.
What's this?
I'm coming to visit you, and I am saying we're never going to White Castle.
You got to do better than that, Bruce. You got to do better than that.
We've got Five Guys out here too.
When I come out and visit you, Bruce.
I don't have any problem with White Castle. In fact, they've got at Dollar Tree now. They got these little frozen, like Totino, White Castle bites. Oh, in the air fryer. Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody east of the Rockies knows what a good burger is. Like, that belongs to west of the Rockies. Give it to us.
A good question. I am a mustard, pickle, and onion man. How do you want your burger? Mustard, pickle, and onion. Automatic.
That's funny because you wouldn't get that in In-N-Out.
I wouldn't get that in
There's
and
no
out.
mustard on
Really?
In-N-Out.
I can't stand mayonnaise or Miracle Whip or any of that other crap.
That's a
Take
Southwestern
ketchup.
thing.
Mustard's my favorite condiment. I do like barbecue sauce because I'm in the South. Come on.
Well,
But
do you like Thousand Island on a burger then?
forget all that. No, I
Oh,
don't give
you might not like In-N-Out then.
Okay, all right. Well, just leave the special sauce off. As long as it's meat and bun, I'm good.
All right. We're done talking about burgers. We're
Okay.
gonna brand you because I chose a special thing for you tonight. It's all superheroes. So I'm gonna have Cause bring that up. Thank God I have a producer. What would have happened if I didn't have a producer? Jeez. Oh shit, I can't read that. Hold on, let me see what I can do.
Braille?
So
I know a little braille.
shit, I can't read the top. Damn it, Chris.
Bruce, I'm giving you gold and you're not even laughing.
I'm sorry. I'm
I don't
trying to
have
help
enough
her here.
full
What are
screen.
you eating, by the way?
Licorice, chocolate licorice.
Licorice. Okay, all right.
Licorice,
All
guys,
right.
chocolate licorice. It's absolutely delicious. We're not advertising it, but it happens to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Now, I got to ask you this, Bruce. Bagels. Come on now,
Yeah.
bagels. Huh?
Yes.
Your favorite bagel of all time. Go ahead.
I like an egg everything bagel with all the seeds on it, no salt.
Okay, the poppy seeds.
Poppy seeds, sesame seeds,
Sesame
onion,
seeds.
garlic.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's got it all. It's got one bagel. It's like an egg bagel, but it's got all the different spices on it and seasonings, and seeds, but no salt because salt kills everything. Takes away the flavor of all the other other seeds.
Is this loading on dial-up? I just want to know.
Yeah, hey, can you see the screen?
I can see half of it.
All right. Not a huge deal because I can't read the top anyway.
I can't. Hold on. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah. Read him in.
All right. These days, Superman would rather be snuggling young boys while Batman explores his emotions. But just imagine, with a little creativity and half-decent writers, how superheroes could be saving the world.
All right, and Rex, you have a choice of 4 to choose from. You've got
Plastic Man. All day long, Plastic Man.
You want to read Plastic Man?
Yeah.
All right. So Todd can hear the man. He wants to read Plastic Man. So this is how you get branded, Rex. You just read for Plastic Man.
Okay. How mighty this rubbery hero use his talents for the common good by flinging illegal aliens back to their neighborhoods. As the immigrant horde surged the southern U.S. border amidst a total breakdown of law and order, Plastic Man leans back, then springs like a rubber band, flinging third world turds like a huge trebuchet over the way, all the way to Turkestan. There we go.
All right. Hey, Bruce, because you are a fan, do you want to take one as well?
What were my choices again? I remember.
You've got Invisible Woman,
Superman, Invisible Woman, and
the Punisher.
Give me the Punisher.
I knew he would say that.
When the Punisher gets his law degree and an appointment to the bench, it's curtains for liberal bleeding hearts. And crooks won't get another inch. No more lenient sentences, early releases, and low bail, as he proposes electrocutions and lethal injections as alternatives to jail. With gallows and guillotines at his disposal, slaps on the wrists are now a thing of the past. Even firing squads are on the table, as classic capital punishment is back at last, delivering devastating sentences to endless smug, unrepentant perps This this courtroom dishes out swift, sweet justice and 100% conviction rate of criminal twerps.
Woo!
Ooh, that was a mouthful, huh? That's what she said.
Yeah. Bruce, you have been branded for like the 100th time.
Seared, my friend. Seared.
Hey, I'm
It's all
still
good.
hearing the music from
We-
the sunset, pal.
We're gonna need to wrap up soon. My leg is cramping up like you have no idea right now. I'm literally trying not to cry. It's
Nod off at the joint. Suck it up, Buttercup.
oh my god.
Well, any regular viewer of Creative Chaos knows that is basically the end of the show. I did see that Broken Lives still maintains that this is his favorite part of the show. You guys are getting premium Flip City content for free, read by some of the best independent creators that man has to offer, like Rex from Devil Flyer. So, Rex, what do you
Yes.
want people to do at this very moment for you?
Reach Nirvana. Go back, Devil Flyer, over on Fund My Comic. If you want to try before you buy the ash can, only 100 printed up on Indiegogo. Will mail out tomorrow to you. You'll get 2 magnets, 2 trading cards, and 3 bookmarks with your purchase. There's something for everybody over there on Fund My Comic, especially on the Devil Flyer campaign. Adding
The man is giving it away. You're giving a lot of stuff away for free.
free domestic shipping on 3 of the items right now. Three. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been dropping. I don't have the access to do it now, but I have been dropping the link in the chat all night long, but it is also in the description down below. So
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Many hands make light work, and if we all gather together, maybe we'll get there someday. There's my beautiful Abigail. I've had her for over 12 years.
A little Jack Russell Terrier or a Rat Terrier?
She's 100% Jack Russell. In fact, the friend that I talked about that had the daughter that had 6 kids, she was the one that brought me Abby, as a matter of fact. And my life has been changed ever since.
Bruce, should you stand up? No? Okay.
No, it's went to
All
sleep
right,
on me. Damn
well,
it!
I am trying to close this out as quickly as possible. You guys heard Rex. Go back him at fundmycomic.com, Devil Flyer, and
Right.
of course the link is directly in the
Everybody gets free
description below.
art. Free art by me. Everybody
Rex,
gets free
you're
art.
torturing Batman right now. Batman, stop crying. Tell everybody where to find you.
Come check us out. If not here on Creative Chaos, you can catch me every Sunday night from 7 p.m. Big Apple time, 4 o'clock avocado time on 3 Beer Men on the Pilled on Madness Comic Network, Madness Entertainment Group. You can find us on all these different platforms. Go to the number 3, BEERMEN.TV, and click the Watch Here button, and it'll give you a whole list of different places to catch us. Every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Thank you very much.
Do it. It's very, very fun. Bruce, if you need to drop out, please do. While I tell everybody, after you check out Devil Flyer over on Fund My Comic, Flip City has a live campaign right now. We only do it for 30 days at a time, quarterly. So right now is our campaigning time. It's fundmycomic.com/FlipCity24. It is our 24th edition. You have no fear in backing Flip City because we've been publishing since 2020. And no matter how much the man wants to keep us down, we just keep blasting out the best, most savage satire that man has to offer. You saw that with the last live read that we just did with Rex. Thank you so much, Rex, for doing a live read for Flip City. You are now officially branded and invited back to any of our party streams.
Cool.
And of course, join us next Thursday when we have Omar Glitch coming on to do whatever he does. We're gonna
Right.
find out
Well,
what
I
he
mean,
does.
I'll tell you one thing he's been doing. He's been working with me on this campaign and helped me immensely. It would not look near as, I mean, even he's been a
You're
godsend.
doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Okay.
We're supposed
You
to
did-
pretend that Omar is like whatever.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't help me. I don't know the man. Disavow. I like when you sit back in the chair because you barely hit
I
the
know,
screen.
but this-
It's like a turtle going back in their shell.
I
I
know
like that.
it is. It's why they keep doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, seriously, Omar's a fantastic dude, and it is the purpose also of Creative Chaos to not take anybody too seriously because we're just here to have a good time. And that's something I freaking love about Americans is
Mhm.
that we're really good at ball busting, and it really is a way to show love for one another. Exactly. I felt that. I felt that right up my pantless bunghole. Anyway, so we're gonna close it out tonight, you guys. Check out Fund My Comic, browse the campaigns, go directly to the Flip City campaign or the Devil Flyer campaign, and then browse it from there. I fucking love Fund My Comic because they stand for absolute freedom of expression, no matter who you are. They
Absolutely.
are practicing what basically American values are all about, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's got some of the best campaigns I think running right now over there. Flip City, Devil Flyer, Fembat, you name it, they're over there. Go check them out. I mean, Luke's really put up a good platform there. He's always improving on it. And if you have questions, he's got tutorials. I mean, they only take 2%, and I'm hearing Indiegogo is even higher than when I don't even know what they take out now. I hear it's more than 7%, that when I started over there on Indiegogo, and you won't get shadow banned. It's a great platform, for gamers and for comics or children's books. There's friends of mine that have children's books over there. So it's a wonderful platform. I think it's the only platform to frankly be on, Christy.
I agree, and it's the only reason, not the only reason, it is the only platform that Flip City will crowdfund on. I kind of am, on a fence of like just running a test on Indiegogo or Kickstarter to see if we can make it happen. I highly doubt it, but it's almost like, let's just like compare the two, right?
Right. Well, now
Because
I've seen like Mike Barron, he ran his on all three platforms basically about the same time. And Fund My Comic outperformed on his Leviathan campaign, outperformed handily by $2,000 or $3,000 Indiegogo. I've seen other campaigns where they've outperformed Kickstarter. So they're outperforming. It depends on the project, but they're outperforming on Indiegogo and Kickstarter on some of these campaigns. That's good news for Fund My Comic. And hopefully with Cecil's project over there, Cash Grab 2, it will become the first six-figure campaign over there, I hope. Because that's going to help us all.
We shall see, and that's the thing. I mean, I'm not saying that we're capturing on Creative Chaos really much of any of Cecil's audience, but for people that do follow Cecil and like what he's doing, you're gonna fucking love Flip City.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
will, So all right. We've made Bruce pass out and we need to close out the stream. So if there's any parting words that you have to say them now, and then we're just going to wave goodbye.
I'll lean in for this one. Thank you.
Awesome.
We love Love City.
Love you too, Rex. You're freaking awesome. We're going to see you guys next week with Omer Glitch. And thank you so much to the chat, especially Vulcan Lives. Like, you are freaking awesome. I don't know. There's a debate. I have no idea if it's Vulcan Lives or Vulcan Lives. And I think you like to keep it that way. But if you want to ever clarify in chat, I'd be so happy because I call you Vulcan Lives. Thank you for joining Creative Chaos. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Okay, class. List everything insensitive, exclusionary, bigoted, nationalistic, misogynistic, and offensive that you can find in history's great myths and legends. Extra points for suffering panic attacks or emotional outbursts. Fact check every opinion against the lived experience of your comrades and allies so you can avoid forming a criminal opinion. Scrutinize it cover to cover. Wrongthink, misgendering, dead naming, misinformation, microaggressions. Leave no page unturned.